What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Let's Play Dark Souls 3. My name is Michael. When last we left, we had gone to the Untended Graves, the coolest damn area ever. So let's go back there, let's finish this up. Because shit's already pretty weird, but we have a long way to go. We have a long, long way to go. The weapon as slow as this, I think the best we can really hope for with these guys is trading favorably. Like, I don't think it's going to be feasible to kill them without taking damage very often. With a faster weapon, it wouldn't be too hard. We're invaded by the Daughter of Crystal, Crimehild. I want to know a lot about this NPC. It's a scripted invasion in this area, so I'm sure it's relevant. It doesn't look like she gave us any items, so I don't know what the lore is there. Now, if you remember, there was a bonfire here in the not darkness world. It's not even night. There's no sun at all. There's no light. Of course, these enemies, while they're the same types of enemies that were in the Cemetery of Ash, like same equipment and stuff, their AI is a lot more aggressive and they do a whole lot more damage. It's even a very similar setup to what was here last time, with the spearman blocking the way and the archer in back. Just the spearman came up a little farther. I think he heard us while we were on top of the cliff. Now you see a summoning sign over there, and we will get to that soon. This guy's already shooting at me, so I'm going to deal with them now. There's a new layout of enemies over here. Like, this crossbowman wasn't here before. And the enemy that was under here to teach you how to do a plunging attack isn't here now. There might be something up at the top of where, like, we jump onto the coffin. Not sure. Oh, okay. Well, there is an enemy here. And there is also a hidden blessing. That's, again, the one that is a full heal for FP. This is the Swordmaster, the same guy who we fight in Firelink, so he already has a tie to this area. I kind of want to know more about his lore now. This fight, of course, this is the boss room, as it was the first time. this fight's going to be a lot harder. Let's see if we can do it in one shot. Champion Gundyr, as opposed to Iudex Gundyr. Pretty much the same fight, except he doesn't have the black parasite thing. He's significantly faster and more fluid, like a lot more aggressive in his moves, really. And instead of the second phase where the parasite thing comes out, he goes berserk. It's a similar fight, just with the difficulty turned way up. Get a Black Knight glaive there. I'm just gonna read that soul item we got, see if there's any lore on it. Once a champion came late to the festivities and was greeted by a shrine without fire and a bell that would not toll. So is that how he was put here and became Iudex Gundyr? Or like, I really am not sure whether we are in the past right now. I feel like we are. I feel like we're either in the past or in an alternate reality. Of course, we got some souls, so we can go spend them.
Ashen one.
Works very well.
You see the 61st point isn't going to give me any damage. There's a very heavy fall off with what strength gives me past that point. So with 60 strength, we're going to start putting everything into vigor, endurance, and vitality. And we're gonna mostly do vitality for the equip load.
Farewell, Ashen One.
Once we've got a few more points in that, I'll re-examine our gear, see if we can start wearing some of the really cool stuff. Don't have any undead bone shards, do I? No. So of course we know that beyond Iudex Gundyr or Champion Gundyr, if they are indeed the same person, there is Firelink Shrine, so let's go check it out. It looks like this is a world where the fire was not linked. God, it's so creepy. There's no item down there like there was before. And you can see up there a Black Knight. and a second Black Knight. They are very tough opponents. So, the Black Knights, or you know, the Knights of the first Lord of Cinder, the first person who linked the flame, but this is a world where it doesn't look like the flame was linked, so I kind of wonder what they're doing here. Oh, this place is so cool. It's exactly the same layout, just, you know, usually there's a backdrop, a world beyond this. Oh no, I fell off. Hey, he fell off too. I'm pretty sure they respawn though, so that won't do me any good. Too busy admiring the scenery, or the lack thereof. Alright, swordsman. Black Knight leggings. Maybe if I can get all the set pieces, I can use that as my my armor at the end of the game. Okay, this time we're actually going to face our opponent and be ready for them. Get the backstab. The helmet. That's another piece. I want to point out that he was here guarding this tombstone. Like, that's exactly where he was. This tombstone has something on it that looks like, resting against it, looks a whole lot like the great sword of Artorias. One of Gwyn, the first Lord of Cinder's knights. One of his, not one of the Black Knights, but one of his elite knights, I guess. And yet the grave gives us the Hornet Ring, which was the ring of a different one of his knights. I believe it was the ring of Kieran? Let's see if we can check. There we go. The masked Kieran was the only woman to serve in Gwyn's 4 knights, and her curved sword granted a swift death to any and all enemies for the throne. But if you remember, in the first game's DLC, you fight Artorias, and Kieran shows up and asks for the soul of Artorias, I guess to honor his passing. So I think perhaps she took his sword. I'm not sure why, but it makes sense that, you know, those two had a connection. She was there. She could have taken his sword, and if she died, maybe it was put here. They didn't know where Artorias' grave was, maybe. And so it's with her ring, because this is actually where she's buried. I don't know. I don't have the answers. I only have more questions. This is where we fought the Swordsmaster before. There's another Black Knight hiding where Hollow's hiding before. Oh man, he almost knocked us off. We're so close to dying. Gloves. We might get the full set. Is there anything else up here? I forget. Soul item. I believe that's the corpse that has our first ember in the normal Firelink. Yeah, okay. Ranged battle required ahead. I actually think that we get the Chaos Blade there. I guess that might be the sword of the Swordmaster. It's the Uchigatana when he drops it in normal Firelink. But I don't know, what does Chaos Blade say on it? It's right next to it. A cursed sword of unknown origin bearing uncanny streaks on its blade. Attacks also damage its wielder. This sword is not unlike a thing misshapen, granted life but never welcome in this world. In other words, chaos itself. I was hoping it might tell us something about this alternate reality swordsman who, I mean, maybe the blade killed him? But I think this area actually shares properties with, like shares the note placement with normal Firelink. So we're seeing notes from the Firelink at the start of the game. I'm not certain about that, but I suspect it. Like, yeah, that only makes sense if they're talking about, you know, welcome to the rest of the game, you're done the tutorial level now. And Firelink Shrine, but with no fire. We have an item down there. Let's circle the perimeter first. Pulled out this tree and get another seed of a giant tree there. And we can't get in there this time. Now things are gonna get really weird. I mean, if you haven't decided they're weird already. These are the same thrones, I believe. Yeah. So we get the coiled sword fragment there. We, you know, normally we would put the coiled sword in there to start the bonfire. But the coiled sword fragment is actually our reusable homeward bone. So we can take these out of our hotbar now and just put that. It isn't consumed like a homeward bone is. It doesn't do that. That is an illusion. What? Oh, I see. We'll be back this way. The Shrine Handmaiden is here.
Well, fancy that. A lost lamb wandereth in, with nary a peep from the bell. Well, thou shouldst my purpose know. What can this old handmaid provide thee?
So the tolling of the bell is what, in normal Firelink woke us up. But in this world, the bell has not tolled. We learned that from the soul of Champion Gundyr. He arrived there too late and the bell wouldn't toll. But we've stumbled into this reality. She sells many fewer things, but most notably among them, the armor of Artorius. The Wolf Knight set. And this is the armor of Knight Artorius. We already saw lore with him here, so something is going on there.
To skirt the curse's grasp, tarry not for long. 'Tis dark for now, and not a soul stirs. But remember, fires are known to fade in quiet. Or perhaps thou'rt captive already, like the poor girl.
What poor girl and what curse?
To skirt like best not tarry long.
Do you have anything else to say to us?
Well, thou'rt exceeding lost indeed. What can this old handmaid to skirt the cursed?
So, that's creepy. That's really creepy. Andre is not here, nor is a body of any sort, so that's good. But his hammer is. That's a weapon we can use. Our NPCs are mostly not here. There is an item where the body of Yoel is. It's a Hollow's Ashes. Do we have any lore on this at all? Umbralash Valhalla, who faithfully served a woman only to become separated from her. With this, the Shrine Handmaid will prepare new items. Takes but a brief glance at this thing to easily envision Londor, the foreboding land of hollows. Well, we know that Yoel was a pilgrim from Londor. And while we didn't make the correct choices in this run to see it, he does serve a woman, Yuria, who, her name has been mentioned. She doesn't get happy when you kill the pilgrim that was stalking Henri. So I'm not her biggest fan and not Yoel's biggest fan. But is it possible that this is Yoel? I mean, he's from Londor, and he has sort of the same story, so I'm wondering if when he died there, he appeared here. There's one more thing we need to look at, and this is going to be the strangest of them all. Now there's just a wall here, and of course these notes tell us that it's an illusion, but of course we already know it's an illusion because we've been back here. Usually past this illusion is where we would find the failed firekeeper, the storyteller. No more hidden walls, I don't think. But there is a body here where she would be, leaned up against exactly the same tombstones. in not dissimilar garb. Except she's wearing what looks like a blindfold. Of course, we know she's already blind. And she gives us the eyes of a firekeeper. Key items. A pair of dark eyes said to be the eyes of the first firekeeper, and the light that was lost by all firekeepers to come. It reveals to the sightless firekeepers things they should never see. I'm wondering if perhaps because she was blinded in the real world, her eyes appeared here, the storyteller. Or perhaps this corpse is the alternate universe firekeeper who is still alive, and has been at the shrine since the start of the game. Either one is plausible, I think. And we can't go back here. That's all we have to find. Let's see if we can give the ashes to this handmaiden.
Well, what?
We cannot.
Best not.
But I think we can kill her. And we get that priestess ring she had for sale, which increases faith. Since that's what she drops, is there any interesting flavor text on it? I just want every bit of lore from this area I can get. It's so cool. In Lothric, the High Priestess has long been considered one of the 3 pillars of the king's rule. Also served as the prince's wet nurse. Of course, that was Emma, right? The person who died when they were attacked by the Dancer of the Boreal Valley. So why does she have it? And why doesn't she have it in our world? Let's head back to Firelink with the coiled sword fragment. So first we have some ashes to give to this woman.
Ah, well, how
And
knowest thou of that and then thy pocket?
unfortunately, she doesn't give us new text. I want to confront her and be like, what the hell? We just saw an alternate version of you, but there's no option to do that. She also is blindfolded. So perhaps she also is a firekeeper, or was a firekeeper? I don't know. I do not know. But we can give her the
Gracious.
hollow ashes.
Passing fine ash thou'st given. Let this ash bestow nourishment. I only hope these new wares content thee. Ashen one.
I do not know. But there is one thing we have to do.
Welcome home, Ashen One. Speak thine heart's desire.
We found the eyes of a firekeeper, so let's see what happens when we give them to this firekeeper.
Ashen One, are these eyes? How gracious of thee, Ashen One. The very things we firekeepers have been missing.
You'll note now, the music here changes.
Ashen One, my thanks for the eyes thou'st given. But firekeepers are not meant to have eyes. It is forbidden. These will reveal through a sliver of light frightful images of betrayal. A world without fire. Ashen One, is this truly thy wish?
We have the option to wish for a world without flame. Or to decline.
Of course not. Please, kill me, and take these eyes away, before I am drawn into the darkness, seduced by the thin light and the awful betrayal. Ashen One, before seduced, farewell, mayst thou thy peace discover.
Even the thing she says when we leave changes. Mayst thou thy peace discover.
Welcome home, speak. Ashen One, before I am drawn seduced by... Farewell, Ashen One. Mayst thou thy peace discover.
I'd like to get the other dialogue there. But first, I think you have a new dialogue for us as other one. Oh yeah, we never put his cinders here. We should do that. Okay. Aldrich is there correctly now. But you're the one I want.
Ah, well met. That at last returned. Knowst thou the name Anri of Astora? The brave girl left this as thanks.
That's awfully kind of her.
Though gave no elucidation. So, happened upon any twisted souls? The eyes show a world destitute of fire, a barren plain of endless darkness, a place born of betrayal. So, I willed myself Lord to link the fire, to paint a new vision. What is thine intent? The eyes are played. Now, heed this little warning from this little lord. Seek not the girl. She knoweth her fate, what will become of her upon her duty's end. She would not wish thee follow her.
So, I mean, that end quote was talking about Henri. It was part of that trigger. But he knows about the alternate fire link and what the eyes we gave the Firekeeper show. And it sounds like he's seen it too, and he did something. He took action to change that future. Or that past. It's possible that the fire link we were just in, the dark one, is the real fire link. And we are the ones in an alternate universe. And he did something to create this parallel existence. To give the world another chance. It would make sense. The other lords are all extremely powerful. The Undead Legion had the strength of many. Yorm the Giant was a giant, the last one. And, Aldrich had consumed a god. But Ludleth just seems frail, small and weak. But perhaps he is either an extremely powerful sorcerer, or perhaps he gave up much of his strength to create this place. I don't know. Just like everything else today, I have none of the answers.
Welcome, husband. Ashen One. What's it?
So we're going to kill her as she wishes, and then take the other dialogue option. We get back the eyes here. So let's reload the area. And she's back. Like us, she cannot die. Presumably for a similar reason. Although, also for game mechanic reasons, because if the only person you can level up at could die, that would be pretty bad.
I'm truly sorry. But knowest thou not, I cannot die. So please, Ashen One, allow me to serve thee. The lords have left their thrones and must be delivered to them. To this end, I am ever at thy side. Ashen One, are thee at the very... Ashen One, might that fire, these will reveal a world without fire. Ashen...
So what happens if we wish for a world without flame?
Of course. I serve thee, and will do as thou bidst. This will be our private affair. No one else may know of this. Stay thy path. Find lords to link the fire, and I will blindly tend to the flame. Until the day of thy grand betrayal. Ashen One, if thine heart should bend, kill me, and strip these eyes from my person. I will return as the firekeeper I once was, as it has always been. Ashen One, kill I was it. Farewell, Ashen One. Mayst thou thy peace discover.
So we now have a conspirator. When the time comes to link the flame, we've indicated that we might just not. We might snuff it out instead. I have no intent of actually doing that. That's always seemed to me to be the evil ending to these games, although it is somewhat ambiguous. But I like this music better while she has the eyes, and we'll get a choice at the end, as you know, as always, as to what to do. So we'll have her keep the eyes for now. I think she's a far more interesting character with them.
Welcome, her speak. Very well, then taken.
Not quite enough to level
Farewell,
up.
Ashen One. Mayst thou thy peace discover.
Do we have any soul items? Is it enough? It is, I think.
Welcome. Very well, then taken.
Okay, one level. Sure.
Farewell, Ashen One. Mayst thou thy peace discover.
God, that's so cool. Okay, we're gonna cut it here. That is the end of the Untended Graves and the Dark Firelink segment. So next time we will continue more with the main story of the game. And hopefully get a Titanite slab for this weapon that's coming up. It should be good fun. But until then, mayst thou thy peace discover.